Hey foodies, welcome to European Cuisine with Alex. Join me on a scrumptious journey through the heart of British cuisine. Today we're diving into the secrets of classic fish and chips. Get ready to tantalize your taste buds.
The British love sweets. Cut us and we bleed custard. Next time you hear the national anthem, listen ever so closely, and among all the pomp, you can pick out the word biscuit, surreptitiously mumbled at least 7 times.
It's no overstatement to say tea and biscuits are our actual lifeblood. We love little squares of things on bone china, plates served on an afternoon following a game of cribbage. We love puddings that steam like a behemoth emerging from a sauna, made from beef fat, treacle, and shriveled fruit. They love sugary, crunchy things from packets. It's no overstatement to say tea and biscuits are our actual lifeblood. You see, sweets to the British are all about the emotions. Our climate and stoicism means we require sweets for more than just a sugar fix or addendum to prior courses. They're our national comfort blanket. It's no place for subtlety either. No fine pastries, delicate sugarwork, toulis or twists. No nonsense and no frills. So what makes us tick? I was completely blown away when I discovered just how many of our national sweets are based on dried fruit. With the exception of those under the age of 14, who tend to hold them with derision like dead flies. We're a nation of sultana scoffers, current connoisseurs, and fig fiddlers. Buns. Scones. One subject that has swallowed thousands of hours of British debate is the pronunciation of the word scone. If you want to sound snooty, rhyme it with own. If you want to sound authentic, go, these individual buns are unyested, so quite dense. Always split them and spread with jam and, if you can find it, clotted cream. Shop-bought scones can be chalky. The desired effect for a home-baked scone is something with a crusty golden surface and airy centre. Lardy cake, a sweet fruit bread dough made with rendered pig's fat lard. Sometimes milk, and usually sultanas and citrus peel, depending on the region. The dough is rolled and folded to leave a rather fetching 70s swirly curtain finish. And it's cooked to form one shallow loaf for slicing and serving with butter, the grand doyen of British cooking. Elizabeth David recommended flipping the cooked bread upside down to let the lard trickle through it in a sinister stream, which is just one of many reasons she's so great. Currant breads. Given that popping on the kettle is a national sport, there's no shortage of sweet regional tea breads to accompany our beloved cha. Pretty much all of these breads contain dried fruits. These include the Welsh barley, which actually contains tea, Scottish selkirk bannock, and Irish buns. These are baked in loaves or cups, then sliced as you would a standard bread. They're sometimes toasted at breakfast too, Chelsea brown. Rolled yeasted bread buns studded with almonds. They have a slight hint of cinnamon or almond spice, like nuts, and they're baked in donut-sized snail shells. They're topped with a transparent sugar layers, as their individual fruits. So different from the slices, one is more likely to be eaten as a dessert in itself. Desserts. Trifle to a Brit board before 1960, and they're likely to go cross-eyed, known as Tai Chi, and start wittering on about boring castle. This retro, layered dessert is almost camped in its multi-coloured versions. Its bedrock is a sponge, sometimes a bit in gelatine, followed by thick covered in buttermilk, whipped cream syrup, and scattering of broken dark chocolate or Dutch cherry. It's usually a second in a glass bowl to display the layers in all their forms of the many, many flavour options. Sherry, strawberry, orange, cherry,
All-American desserts look like a cloud taste like strawberry, cotton wool, and come out of black. Take this the wrong way. All that's required of the home cook is to whisk the 4-serving pouch of fruit-flavored custard powder with milk, leave it to thicken into a shiny, frothy mousse, then eat with spoons. Simples. Cringe. Traditional Scottish dessert made primarily from whipped double cream, seasoned with fresh raspberries, and toasted oatmeal added in equal parts. It's usually sweetened with heather honey for an extra touch of the Highlands, and served cold with optional dribble of whiskey. Eton mess? Was it famously created in the private boys' school at Eton when a dish of meringue and whipped sweetened double cream was dropped and ended up broken into pieces. Modern interpretation goes something along the lines of a deconstructed pavlova. See, the cream's chilled in fruit, usually berries filled with berries, folded in fruit. The size of the milieu joints is left to the whim of the rolling pin, but never more than a 1 by shard. Jam rollipops? Issue with putting with fruit and jam, rolled into a log a bit like a Swiss roll, then boiled, sliced into 1 2-inch slices and served with custard. It's also known as a dead man's omelet. It's hardly a subtle, tight little thing. It's not a big this stuff is crazy for although some people would be extremely invasive, so it looks a little like a play. Inspired by the and you get to bring it back. The contest with the dense, full and cheap. One of the only examples of Jaffa edge of a homework is a robot who makes surrounded by suitably modest 1 cm thick sponge jacket and a layer of jam and fruit.
Infant lactation? Oh, it's pretty simple. Saviour for your feet is disorganised. Entertainer dessert is always pureed or semi-crushed fruit. A sweetened cream is folded in. Usually icing sugar is used for an even blend, or a custard, or you can serve the 2-layered is preferred. Or usually made with gooseberries, strawberries or raspberries. It's served in individual glasses chilled to a fluffy set.
Examples, okay? This pastry pug, filled with dense fruit instant, tells you everything you'd ever want to know about the design of its first county links. Cakes have been reclaimed by London Estate restaurant and serving like moving away from short crust or pop, but all of the ratio and top 50 one is enough for an individual person. They can be served savory sounding name. It's stored in jars and usually languishes at the back of cupboards for at least a decade. Bakewell tart. This Derbyshire dessert consists of a crisp pastry base filled with 2 layers. A base layer of cherry conserve with a topping of almondy sponge. The shallow tart is baked until the sponge is golden and caramelized on top. It's then scattered with flaked almonds or digestives, dusted with a thick layer of white fondant icing. Bakewells come in large standard pie shapes with individual bakes. Yum yum. Nobody does donuts quite like the Americans, but we did invent the cronut. Just kidding. This take on a donut does predate Dominique Ansel's version though. It's essentially a twisted donut saver with a sticky glaze that you can find in any no-nonsense high street baker. The glaze is almost crunchy and the dough a little like milk bread. It's deep fried like all good doughs, but served. Another stitch short crust base, this time filled with a set egg custard hidden beneath a backed on layer of grated nutmeg. Custard tarts can be anything up to 1 inch deep and made as one large pie or individual versions. In Yorkshire, they have their own version. Curd tart with an added scattering of buttercream. These are seriously intriguing babies. The slightly gelatinous yellow custard flips the burning and fancy creme anglaise flapjacks. Versions of flapjacks appear all around the world under various guises. Real bar, granola bar, or even plain old milk bar. You may use the term to describe individual snack bar made with low toast butter and honey or syrup. The golden gallon can add dried nuts, chocolate chips, or even a drizzle of melted chocolate on top. Those save yourself back on the do cellophane wrap flaps on the counter, occasionally offering a yogurt pop version featuring a soft and creamy top layer. Pondering how they achieve this from a liquid dairy product usually a liquid.
Contrary to its genetic name, this checkerboard milk cake is steadfastly English. It's achievable at home if you're a master of tinfoil folding, but Mr. Kipling do an inspired range of mini Battenbergs. Ordinarily, I I'd never call anything other than a kitten's whisker or a gurgling baby cute. But they are so cute. The whole log is mildly almond flavoured, and the pink colour is achieved with artificial colours rather than berries or anything natural. The sweet marzipan jacket ramps up the nut nibs and nothing other than melted jam. All one together, which deserves a sax solo in itself. Second, poor guy talks. Not only did he fail in his gunpowder plot, but his effigy is still mindlessly burnt. Every November 5th, under the thin premiere, it's for bonfire night, which everyone knows was only invented for eating hot dogs and parking. This moist tray baked sponge is made from treacle and oatmeal and has a soft texture and glossy surface. It's served uniced and cut into small squares. Victoria sponge for all the coffee cakes, fudge brownies and lemon drizzles that have followed in its path. This regal sandwich cake is pretty much the finest example of simple British baking. 2 airy vanilla sponges will then filled with up to an inch of buttercream, a heavenly blend of 1 part butter, 2 parts icing puree, plus a generous smear of raspberry or strawberry jam, and a top layer of crunchy custard sugar or decorative icing sugar. It's served sliced in wedges and eaten with a dainty fork. Sticky Toffee Pudding the extreme moistness of this almost muffin-like baked dessert comes from the addition of dates, yet another dried fruit that's used for little more than LSD in the UK. Instead, the future portion sponge cake is served as a cube or dome with a cascading brown sugar-based caramel sauce, which should be of a loose viscosity, if that's insufficient moisture for the dough. A dollop of ice cream or splash of custard, topping also known as pickle RY Manown. Fantastic Dorset apple cake. We may not have abundant stocks of pawpaw lychee and persimmon, but one thing we're guaranteed to always have on hand is the dependable apple. Folk from the coastal county of Dorset baked them into a moist sponge cake with saltiness. Of course. It has a no-nonsense pastoral finish and served cut into wedges. Jaffa cakes. You'll find everything you need to know about the excellent composition of a Jaffa cake from this roving piece of on-the-ground investigative journalism. These small round pucks consist of a crispy dark chocolate top layer, a just tart set orange jam core, and a spongy but firmer biscuit base. But is it a biscuit or a cake? According to the tax man, it's a cake. Don't agree. Tell it to the judge. Because a cooked shortbread. Scotland is home to the boffin who conceived the deep-fried Mars bar, but it's also home to shortbread. Picture a buttery, crumbly biscuit with a sugar topping, usually shaped into 2-inch-long finger-small rounds, or novelty thistle shapes to sell to tourists. Each dark, rich tea. These smooth cream-coloured, thin biscuits were immortalised by comedian Peter Kay, who says they should be renamed One Dips as, despite their main purpose of being served with tea, are no way robust enough to handle our dunking action. This brand of comedy might be lost in translation, but here's the video anyway. They're lightly sweetened and unadorned, save for a silky surface texture and stamped design, and have a truly great snap. Digestive. It is another branded biscuit for enjoying with tea. Most biscuit tins will have a packet of these understated cookies that have a faint salty taste, toffee brown colour and crunchy texture. You can now buy these sweet, thin, crunchy wheat biscuits with chocolate or caramel toppings. From Caspi Party, we've gone to see our taste Hob Nobs, aptly and only by their own description. very mildly flavoured cocoa biscuits, almost a whisper of chocolate in a domino-shaped sandwiching a thin layer of hard buttery. They're so unassuming you can demolish around 10 in one sitting. In fact, my brother used to eat Jenga towers worth of them growing up. Jemmy Dodgers. And a scrating, an iconic and rather novel branded shortbread biscuit. The factory process renders the biscuit less authentic than Scottish shortbread, but it still has the buttery element. The two round biscuits are smooth on the surface but crumbly to the bite, and offset with a layer of adhesive raspberry jam, which peeks coquettishly from a cut-out heart. There are perfectly good imitators on the market, and they can be easily made at home. Garibaldi biscuits, named after the Italian Revolutionary. These thin, crispy biscuits with raisins were actually invented in London. They consist of a raisin layer sandwiched by two pale biscuits that are almost the consistency of a cream cracker. They sometimes come in long, thin slabs, and you need to break off the little rectangles to serve. Colloquially named dead fly biscuits, but don't let that put you off. Love a sweet we missed? Or want to tell us about your favourite? Chime in below.
In conclusion, our culinary journey has been nothing short of delightful. From the vibrant flavors of exotic dishes to the comforting sips of unique beverages, we've explored the diverse world of food and drink together. As we wrap up this episode, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button to savor more delectable content in the future. Join our growing community and let's continue this flavorful adventure. Stay tuned for exciting recipes, enticing drinks, and the joy of culinary exploration. Thank you for being part of our food and drink family, where every episode is a feast for the